Hey guys, good morning. Cool. Please let me know who is here. Don't forget to push the like button. For going furthermore, also please try to vote over here. I really love to know that how many of you really like December price action. Please vote over here. I really need to know that. Okay. And if everything is cool, like audio, everything is good, then also let me know if there is any problem. I need to know that there is any problem or not. And please make sure that you have pushed the like button at the beginning of this stream. That's the most important part. If Sophia is here, let me know because you asked me a question about the weak quadrant level. I would love to go with that at first, and then we'll go for the today's price action. If you are not here, maybe I'll go with the price action, and when you'll be here, let me know. Zivan, good morning, brother. Jamil, bom dia, brother. Muito bem. Obrigado. Obrigado, amigo. Hey, Steven, good morning, brother. My name is T. Thank you, brother, for calling me T. Who else is here actually? I can see 20 people are here. Just need to know the names. Just a bit greetings, okay? I know you don't like it. Let's talk about the price action, brother. I'll just go over there, but before that, I really need to know how many of you are here and who is here actually. Hey, Alex, thank you, brother. Good morning, and good morning, good morning, good morning to you, brother. Thanks for being over here. Please push the like button. 20 people are watching, 6 likes. Please push the like button. Hey, Alex, bom dia. Bom dia, brother. From Brazil. I love Brazil. My favorite team is Brazil. In the soccer game, I'm in the football. Thanks, brother, for being over here. How long you have been here? Please let me know that as well, Alex. Only Steven, Suzivan, Jamil, Ares, and Alex. Isn't it? What is here anymore? Okay, no problem. As Sophia is not here, I'll go through that cordon level later. I think I will go for the price section. I don't want to wait for other people to join because they got the notification, I think, and it's not important for them, so they didn't maybe join. Teacher, sorry, I changed my name from MGFX. Okay. Hey, MGFX, how are you, brother? Short week 7. I'll try to remember your name. Thank you, brother, for being over here. Please make sure that you have pushed the like button. Okay, short. Call you short. That's a nice name. However, this is the weekly chart, and so far you can see this is the weekly candle, last week candle, indecisive candle. That means it was not moving anywhere. It was just fall and then close over here. This week candle so far, like there is no body. You can see simply there is no body. Market open, fall a bit, went higher, come back again here, trading around that area. Now I'm really bullish, extremely bullish, but it doesn't mean that the market has to go higher for the buy side liquidity by this week, as this is really a bit difficult week for me. I know that some of you really love the price action around the December, but for me this is really shit price action. I really don't know how to read this market and very difficult to read it. Sometimes luckily we get some winning trade. I'm saying the word luckily. So luck is fact over here. Sometimes I'm getting a winning trade luckily. Most of the time I just don't know what I'm doing. Okay, simply I just don't know. I predict the market is going to work like that way, and then it just worked like act weirdly. To be honest, I will say this is the hardest price action ever around December and January. Okay, sometimes January is good, like last year January was so beautiful, but December is always shit. Always it's shit. From 15th, 16th, 17th of December, it's kind of shit price action. However, this is the weekly candle. To be honest, I have nothing to say about the weekly chart for Nasdaq. All of you know I'm bullish. That's all for the weekly chart. Okay, would love to come to the daily chart. Now, if you remember yesterday, what did I say? I really would love to see this market will go higher, but before going higher, I really would love to see it will come here to this area. uh, then it will start to go higher. That was my expectation. And today is Tuesday. According to the normal narrative, okay, the daily narrative, Tuesday is the manipulative day. That means if I am bullish, I will expect Tuesday candle is going to clear Monday low. You can see this is the Monday low that has been already cleared. So those people who interested to look for previous day low, previous day high, today is your day. Tuesday is your day. When market will clear previous day low, you will expect market will go toward the previous day high. It doesn't need to clear that previous day high, but it will go toward the previous day high. Okay. If Sophia is here, please let me know, Sophia. I will go with the quadrant level, the question you asked me yesterday. Please let me know. You can see Tamimi is here. Thank you, Tamimi, for being here. FL Trader also here. Thank you, both of you. Thank you so much for being over here. So what's your average profit percentage monthly? 5%, 10%, 40%? I don't see like that way, brother, unfortunately. I mean, this kind of like 1:2 risk to reward ratio, then monthly winning percentage or profit percentage. This is kind of a barricade that will help you to force something. That means if your monthly target, profit target is 5%, for example, and this month very difficult price action, and fortunately you have managed 4%, for example. Okay, this is just for example. So you have managed 4% winning, but you know that your target is 5%. It means you will force the market to give you 1 more percent winning. Okay, and that will cause you more losing trade. So that's why I feel like if it is good, I will go for 100% winning range. Okay, something like that. If it is bad, I'll try to manage like 1% winning, something like that. Okay, I don't have any fixed thing in trading. Always try to focus on freedom. Any kind of burden, kind of 1:2. That means there is a beautiful setup, and I went for that trade, and my target is 1:2. For example, I don't want to close my trade before 1:2. But the problem is that setup was so beautiful. Stop loss is here, target is here to make it 1:2. But I'm seeing that there is some kind of buy side liquidity, for example, just for example. Okay, so I'm seeing there is a buy side liquidity, so I know that what else can happen. It can go 1:1 to clear that buy side liquidity, and then it can start to reverse. Now my problem is I'm bounding myself to go for 1:2, which is kind of here. Okay, so 1:2 is my target, but I know that it can reverse from that area after clearing that buy side liquidity. I'm forcing myself to hold a winning trade into either the break even or to the losing trade. So I'm not interested to bound myself with some kind of rules. I prefer to to go with the flow. If it is 1%, I mean, if I'm confident that market is going to go for this 1:1, what I will do, I'll go for 50%, or maybe here, whatever is the logical level, will take a partial and then try to close my trade or take another partial. That means maximum portion is out, put my stop loss to the break even. Now I'll let this go for 1:10. I don't have any problem with that. Most of the time I try to close my trade around the most logical level. I try to close it. I don't want to bound myself with some kind of specific things. It's my problem. But again, you can go with yourself, your risk management, your money management. It's up to you, brother. Of course, if it is working for you, go with that. Be strict with that. Whatever is working for you, be strict with that. Don't listen to others, please. And think logically, of course. However, I was here. Hey Dora, good morning. Greg, good morning. Tamimi, good morning. Teza, good morning. Yeah, thank you so much, guys, for being over here. So today is Tuesday. According to the normal narrative, market should clear previous day low. If Friday low is also very near to previous day low, then of course it can go for the Friday low. You can see this is the Friday candle low, so I don't think so it will go for the Friday low. So it has cleared Monday low. Now my target is Monday high. It doesn't need to clear Monday high. At least it will go very near to the Monday high. That's more than enough. It can go through this Monday high, keep going higher. I don't have any problem with that. Here, so far, I'm seeing that this market is actually trading this bullish fair value gap from the daily chart as well as the new week opening gap. Friday candle close, Sunday candle open. Friday 4:59 close, Sunday 6 p.m. open. So this is the new week opening gap. So right now it is trading the new week opening gap, but again, what I say, it can trade this whole gap, bullish fair value gap from the daily chart before going higher. So I'll see how far it can fall depending on the liquidity from my lower time frame. But remember, when it clear previous day low one Tuesday, it's very specific because most of the people will not tell you when you should look for previous day low. It's Tuesday. On Tuesday, if previous day low is taken, 90% of the time market search previous day high. 90% of the time market search for previous day high if the low is taken. If previous day high is taken, market search for previous day low. Not always, again, but most of the time. However, when it is trading these imbalances plus that volume imbalance, I prefer this market will start to go higher for the buy side liquidity, or if there is anything over here. Okay, we'll come to the 4 hour chart. So from 4 hour chart, this was the last fair value gap from the 4 hour chart. If you remember yesterday, we talked about that, and you can see this candle perfectly respected this last fair value gap from 4 hour chart. Now I really don't want to see it is going to hold the market and send it lower again for this low. I really don't want to see that, but I really would love to see if it can fall until this breaker block over here, which has been used already, but I want to see if it can be reused with this fair value gap over here. So yesterday market closed here inside this gap. This gap reaction will send the market until here. If it come here, it doesn't need to come here. If it come here, this is the best case of scenario, and then I will start to look for buy. So at the beginning of the 9:30, first thing in my mind is, if I see it is falling, I know that it is falling for this breaker block. Okay, over here, this breaker block, it is falling for that breaker block. Now it will go through this breaker block, it will come trade this inverse gap. That is different matter, we'll talk about that later. But at the beginning, it will be in my mind that market, if I see market is falling, I know that this market is falling for this breaker block, more importantly this fair value gap. One other thing is, which will help you to understand, you can see this high has cleared all of these highs, this high, and this low has cleared all of these lows. So if you go for this dealing range low, because this is a new dealing range, the low of that dealing range and the high of this dealing range, you'll be able to see this is the equilibrium level. So if this market is bullish, remember, if this market is bullish, it should not come to this deep discounted area here, this leg, okay, over here. It should not touch this lower quadrant area. It can maximum fall until the 50%, which I have shown you from the weekly chart, from the daily chart yesterday. Remember last week, the whole week I keep showing them to you. But again, it should not touch this. It can trade this area maximum. I am also not expecting that. The best area to reverse is from this upper quadrant level, if it is, because this is the deep premium area. Okay, so it will trade the deep premium area, and then it will start to go higher around this upper quadrant area. You will see this volume imbalance over here. So if it respect like that way, I don't have any problem. But it can maximum fall until the equilibrium, which is aligned with the breaker block with the fair value gap, and then it will start to go higher. We'll look for that. However, as I told, my bias is bullish for this buy side liquidity, but around 9:30, if I see market is actually falling, I will try to frame the sell until this area, this fair value gap aligned with this breaker block. At the same time, if I miss the sell, for example, I missed the sell, I'm going to let the fall go. For example, 9:30 market open and just started to fall. Of course, I'm not able to catch that sell, right? Because around 9:30 first market has to go a bit higher, then it has to fall if it interested to come over here. That area I'll look for the sell. But around 9:30, if it happens like market fall first and then started to go higher, I'll look for any kind of bearish parabolic up over here to find out that is this market still bullish or bearish. When the bearish parabolic up is gonna be broken, I will know that okay, this is bullish. If it starts to respect from that bearish parabolic up, I will understand that okay, even though it fall a bit, it is now trading that now it is going to fall for this area. So this is why how I'm going to predict the market at the beginning of 9:30 for my direction. If it is getting bit confusing for you, please let me know when I'll finish my explanation. Okay. However, this is the hourly chart, and from the hourly chart, as you can see here, this is that hourly last fair value gap around here, or you can see look for this consecutive order block that I think it didn't trade. Let me actually check. Did it trade that or not? Uh, okay, it actually failed to trade that order block. But either way, it is trading this fair value gap plus this whole gap, and then this market is respecting again. Here, I really don't have anything to say. If I see this is holding the market, is getting holded by this new weak opening gap, start to go higher, maybe I'll start to look for buying opportunity. Whatever it is, we'll look for that from 15 minute chart. From hourly chart, I have nothing to say. Okay, simply I'm letting the hourly chart go. I don't need to go every time frame to find out something on that time frame. I don't need to go for that. Now you can clearly see that hourly chart is not important. Now you can ask me when the hourly chart is important. Your hourly chart is important if there is some kind of liquidity that is obvious to you, some kind of relatively equal lows, relatively equal highs, or some fair value gap that is very obvious and you are seeing that it's respecting. For example, in that specific day, if I saw that around 9:30 market was respecting this gap, remember here around that area, I think no, not that day. However, if around 9:30 if I see it is respecting, then it can be a very important thing from my hourly chart. But around 9:30, for example, this is the 9:30 candle or something like that, where I'm seeing this market is going higher. Okay, here somewhere I know there is nothing important to me. I don't need to mark anything from the hourly chart. Or in that type of scenario, I need to come to this 15-minute chart over here. And I would love to see what happened in this 15-minute chart, because 15-minute chart is my bellwether. I can do everything from the 15-minute chart. I don't need any other time frame, nothing over there instead of this 15-minute chart. Now, all of these relatively equal highs, all of these highs has been cleared over here by that area. Below this extreme liquidity, I have this liquidity yesterday I have marked, so I will mark them later. If I see market is started to go higher, I'll look for this buy side liquidity, because this is important. Above this buy side liquidity, we have some kind of volume imbalance over here, or the daily new day opening gap, something like that over there. I'll mark them later, but right now I'm seeing how it is going to trade this new week opening gap. If I am bullish, listen to me very carefully, okay? This high, that high, relatively equal highs has been cleared over here. Market come here, made a zone around this area, not a perfect buy side liquidity, but look at this zone. This market is respecting this zone, so it is a beautiful resistance zone. I'm watching this resistance zone as my target at the beginning according to my bias. If this market interested to fall for this area, which is my first priority today, until this gap is not broken. So around 9:30, if the market is below this gap, okay, below this gap, no buy is valid for me. The first buy will be validated above the constant crossment of this 15-minute bearish gap. Prior to 9:30, this is the obvious gap which is gonna stop my bias. I am bullish. I won't be able to take the buy if the market is below this gap. If it is above this gap, I will start to look for buy for this resistance zone. Again, if I see at the beginning of 9:30 market fall a bit, come here, it doesn't mean that I'm not able to take the buy from here. Of course, I'm able to take the buy from here. But if I miss this buy, I'm not able to take any kind of buy around this area. When it will come here, I will look for a selling opportunity over there. For thinking that market is coming to this breaker block area, 50% area, fair value gap area from 4-hour chart. If I see, okay, market actually fall and then closed above this gap, no more sell is valid to me. I will immediately switch my bias and will go for this zone, that zone, when this gap is going to be broken. Now you can say that, brother, why you are making this complicated for buy sell? First of all, nobody knows what is going to happen in this world. There will be not even a single person who can clearly or confidently tell that this is going to happen or market is going to fall, this is a bearish market. There is not even a single person in this world who can confirm that. So this is a probability game. You can do two things. First, if your bias is bullish and the whole day market is bearish, you will let the day go. You're not going to touch it. It's gonna make lot of problem very easier. Okay, very easy solution. This is the easiest solution. I will only react if the market go toward my direction. I will only react over there. This is the one way. And the second way is you will wait for different kind of scenario. Even if my bias is bullish, I'm ready to catch the sell according to the price. If the price proves me it is bearish, my bias is wrong, I will immediately switch my bias and I will start to look for sell. This is the two type of scenario. Whichever is good for you, you should go for that. At the beginning, if you are a beginner, okay, you are trading for 6 months, 1 year, 1.5 year, 2 years, something like that, less than 2 year, okay. If your experience is less than 2 year, you will first fix your bias. Are you bullish, are you bearish? Not just something like, okay, I'm bullish, not like that way. With the weekly chart, depending on weekly chart, daily chart, 4 hour chart, hourly chart, 15-minute chart, depending on every time frame, you will first decide what is your bias, why you are bullish, how long you are bullish, and from where you are bullish. First you will decide that, and then you will wait for the buy setup only. Or you will look for your bias as a bearish bias, then you will wait for your bearish opportunity. Don't go for buy and sell if you have the experience less than 2 years. If you have more experience, then of course you will be able to tilt the what to say, I mean the direction. Like you can go for the buy, sell, everything you can do that. However, I think my point is clear to you. Just remember, until this market is below this gap, I'm not able to take the buy. It doesn't mean that I can't take the buy when the manipulation is happen and I'm expecting this market is coming at least until this area. I'm not able to take the buy here. Of course, I can look for a buy from here. But if I miss this buy and market is here and then give me another buying opportunity here, I'm not going to take that buy, because I know that until this gap is not broken, this market can perfectly respected this gap and then start to fall. So I'm not going for any kind of buy from here. Now I'm done for this. I would love to go with the quadrant level, because yesterday I have uploaded this video and Sophia asked me. I don't know she is over here or not. I think when she will join, she will be able to uh, rewatch this part. I need to finish this before 9:30. Then if you have any question, let me ask. You please ask me that after this part. So yesterday when I have uploaded a video about the quadrant level, she asked me when I can use 1 minute time frame order block, 1 minute time frame 22 YT model, or I need the higher time frame. Now, make it very easier. Very, very, very simple. What is 1 minute chart and what is 15-minute chart? 1 minute chart, sorry, from 15-minute chart, I am expecting some kind of run. For example, market fall here, took all the liquidity. I'm expecting at least one candle. Just for example, I'm expecting it is going to clear that high over here, that high. But even if it failed to go for that high, it will give me one 15-minute candle. I'm going to break that 15-minute candle into 15 1-minute candle. So I'll go to the 1 minute candle and I will break this one candle into 15 candle. I am expecting bullish run depending on that 15-minute chart, and I'm framing my trade from 1 minute chart. It means there is nothing called 1 minute trading. 1 minute is noise. It's a perfect noise. If you go to the 1 minute chart, if you ever think that 1 minute chart is going to give you some setup, it never happens. So first of all, you have to forget about 1 minute chart. There is nothing called 1 minute chart. Nothing. 1 minute chart is something I'm expecting. For example, start a new data yet. What is that say? Okay, for example, keep it around this area. Okay, you will always open your 50-minute chat. There is nothing called 1 minute chat. I don't know what is happening in 1 minute chat. I have no idea what is happening in 1 minute chat. Nothing. So 1 15-minute chart, I have seen that. Okay, sorry, not this area, until that area. That as I am going to talk about the quadrant level. So in 15-minute chart, I have look. I don't know what is happening in 1 minute chart. So in 15-minute chart, I have seen This is the candle that has cleared all of these lows. See, all of these lows has been cleared. It has traded the fair value gap or the new week opening gap or the new day opening gap, anything higher time frame imbalances has been traded over here. And that week is very prominent. You can simply uh, split this week comparing with other weeks. It's very easy to mark, very easy to mark. So when I have seen this week on the chart, immediately I'll go for the quadrant level. When I've seen this candle, the next candle trade the upper quadrant, it can trade the low 50%, it can trade the lower quadrant, any of them can be traded and then closed above the upper quadrant level. I will, this candle has closed, okay, this 15-minute candle has already closed. I will immediately switch to 1-minute chart. In 1-minute chart, when it closed exactly over here, I will start to look for some kind of buying opportunity from 1-minute chart. Now I know that from 15-minute chart, the next candle is gonna be a bull candle. Why? Because this candle perfectly respected the upper quadrant, body has closed above the upper quadrant. When I'll be in 1-minute chart, I know that even if it is going to fail to go above that high, 15-minute chart will give me at least some kind of run. I will wait for the setup around this area. If I find any setup around this area, I'll immediately go for that setup. Sometimes what I'm going to do, I'm not going to wait for this candle to close, the 15-minute candle to close. Instead, depending on your bias, okay, of course, depending on your bias, before closing this candle, I'm going to predict that it's not going to close below this upper quadrant. It's going to close over here. So as my 1-minute chart is open, I know that this candle from 15-minute chart or last 15 candle, count the 15 candle, that is the 15-minute last candle. It is going to close above this line over here, above that line. I'm going to predict that. And then if I find any setup, I'll go for that. Remember this order block? I marked that order block to go for the trade. Depending on that weak quadrant level or everything, I can look or I can predict that it's gonna close over here. Sometimes I'll be wrong. If I am wrong, then either I will switch my bias or maybe I will stop taking entries. But if I see, okay, I got stopped out because my stop loss was too tight, and then I can have another opportunity to go for re-entry, I'll go for that re-entry. What I mean to say, there is nothing called 1-minute trading. 1 minute is just a noise. You have to depend on 15-minute chart. So if you are looking for some kind of trade that is expecting from 1 minute, sorry, from 15-minute chart, you are seeing something that is going higher. So this is that area where I was framing the PM session, if you guys remember. So here I have seen this quadrant level. It's not important to me anymore. So when it has traded this area according to the quadrant level, I know that the gap is a very important area to look for the buying opportunity. Around the PM session, when this candle came here, closed over here and trade this area, okay, this is a new week from 15-minute chart. Now, I'm not watching this week, sorry, I'm not watching this week to look for the buy because this is the prominent week which I need to mark. Here, what happened, because this 1-minute setup appeared around this area with that week. I'm watching this candle is trading this gap, this bullish fair value gap that has left after trading the quadrant level. It left over here, okay, this gap, or the lowest down close body close candle. Of course, it has traded the the new week opening up or order block. All of the things is here. I'm expecting some kind of reaction. Not going to think that it is going to take that high. Of course, it can do that. I don't need that. All I need some kind of reaction. So immediately I switch to 1-minute chart around this area. So if you remember yesterday's setup, it was here, the PM session, okay? So around here. When I came here, first I was watching the breaker block. So if you are with me in our Discord, of course, you know that I have already shown that to you. I told that observe this candle. What do I mean by observing? Observing means you're not going to push the button from the breaker block. You are waiting for a confirmation entry. What is the confirmation entry? Confirmation entry means order block. Always remember, order block is going to confirm the entry that it is going to be respected. So I told observe it, and then I explain observation means doesn't mean pushing button. It's not a pushing button. It's observing to wait for an order block to take the entry. However, it has been broken. When it has been broken, I immediately told that remove this breaker block. It doesn't need anymore. Instead of that, mark that week that has cleared these lows over here. Remember, that week is from 1-minute chart. I'm watching the 15-minute chart. I know that from 15-minute bullish fair value gap market is going to give me some kind of reaction. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to find 1 minute PDRS to frame that trade. First, I waited for this breaker block. It didn't work. This is my last opportunity to go with this week to find out if it provide me some kind of buying opportunity. So when I marked that week, I'm going to remove this 15-minute area. When I marked that week, I have seen that it came here around this area, respected the upper quadrant of that week so beautifully. So same logic I have used in 15-minute chart, I'm going to use the same logic over here. I'm waiting for an order block. Now here I did a mistake actually. You can see this candle, specifically that candle, validate this week. Now, sorry, validate this order block. Now, why this is order block? It didn't trade any fair value gap. Why you are using this order block? Any kind of week is a gap. Any kind of week is a gap. The 50% of the week is the last fair value gap. Upper quadrant of the week is the entry gap. Lower quadrant of the week is the extremely discounted area. This is extremely discounted area. Low of the week means the gap is broken. Okay, for example, something like that. So I really forgot to count the candle. I'm so sorry for that, because you can see it takes 7 candle to give me the entry. Okay, so if you count the candle, 1 2 3 4 5 6, okay, it's not 7, 6 candle. Number 6 candle has given me the entry from this order block. So I really forgot about that, to count that candle, because I was so much confident for that buy, for this buy side liquidity, entry fair value gap, last fair value gap. However, if I shouldn't go for that trade. Now when I framed this trade, what I have done, from this order block, I took the entry from this order block. When it tap over here, you can see clearly that was my entry over here. I covered the lower quadrant of that specific week. I don't do that. I actually put my stop loss below the order block. Later I have seen it's just 5 handle, something 6 handle. I really don't like the way. I don't like 20-30 handle. The same way I don't like to put my stop loss for 5-6-7 handle, something like that. I don't like it. So if I see there is like 5 very small stop loss, I always try to go and cover all the important area it can be traded. So for example, if I wouldn't go for this order block, which takes too long, like 6 candles, 7 candles, something like that, I didn't need to worry about that low of this order block. So according to the logic, order block low should not be cleared, but here it has been cleared. So I should not go for that trade. Instead of that, when it has cleared that liquidity and built this consecutive order block, I could go for the trade from this order block. However, this was the breaker block. I added more over there, clear a partial above that high, taken another partial to the entry gap, and my target was this last fair value gap, which I missed by just 2 tick. So I closed the trade over here just by 2 tick, and then later there was another opportunity. Just not interested to go over there. So here the 1 minute chart is nothing. I don't know what is happening in 1 minute chart. All I knew from 15-minute chart, sorry, where is that? All I knew from 15-minute chart here, it is going to respect this area, either the order block or the fair value gap, and market is going to give me a reaction. All I'm interested to catch that reaction from 15-minute chart. Then I'll let the run go. If the 15-minute keep continue to go higher, 1 minute execution will keep giving me the profit. I hope this is clear to her. If Sophia is here, and then later if she watch it, I think it will help her to understand that there is nothing called 1 minute chart. 1 minute chart is just a noise. This is just a noise. Nobody knows what is going to happen. Like for example here, when I framed the first sell yesterday, remember, there was no higher time frame to me. Around here, I had no higher time frame. So when I framed that sell, I was framing the sell depending on the noise. But if I had some higher time frame period over there, there was less possibility or probability to get stopped out around that sell. However, I took that sell because I had no higher time frame period over there. I got stopped out. Very logical area. All other area, I framed the trade. Go to your 15-minute chart. You will see some kind of PDRs are over there. All this sell, that buy, this buy, what was all dependent. That weak upper quadrant level plus that order block depending on the new week opening gap. Here I had the new week opening gap. Then this buy also depending on that same weak fair value gap from the 15-minute chart. This is always important to understand that 1 minute chart is just a noise. You have to look for the 15-minute area, 15 minutes setup, 15-minute run, and then you will come to 1 minute chart to make it much more precise to take the entry for lower stop loss. I can't go for the 15-minute execution because my stop loss is gonna be too big. So what I'm going to do, whatever higher time frame, uh, what to say, I mean the PD array is going to stop the market. I'm going to transfer that PD array from that bigger portion to a smaller portion by the 1 minute chart. So 15-minute order block is a huge order block. I'm going to move it to 1 minute chart to find a smaller order block. However, guys, I think it's clear to all of you, and if it's not still clear, then we'll see that this is the new week opening up 50% over here. Just remember, no buy is valid for me until this market is not going to close above this 15-minute bullish fair value gap. If the 15-minute bullish fair value gap is broken, then I will start to look for the buy above this area, because this is the most prominent gap prior to 9:30 that can stop the market, send it lower for this zone, which is aligned with the breaker block, 4-hour breaker block, and the fair value gap. And my bias is bullish. I'm more interested to look for buy. I just need to wait a 15-minute candle to close or to go above this fair value gap. On my left hand side, this is the 1 minute chart. In 1 minute chart, you can see a lot of buy side liquidities over here. I'm not going to mark them. If you want, you can mark them. You see this buy side liquidity, so beautiful buy side liquidity. Lot of buy side liquidities over there. So I'll actually look for those buy side liquidity. More importantly, this is 9:30 and market started to go higher. If this candle close here somewhere and make a bullish fair value gap, that's gonna be my buy from 15-minute chart. Sorry, from 1 minute chart. Okay, why is that? Now if it keep going higher, I will have nothing to do, but if it would close here somewhere, that could be my buy. Why? First, this market fall, final run, this is the final run. Look at this final run. See this final run, how this final run happened around this area. Look at that week over here. That thing has traded the new week opening gap, the 50%, around the new week opening gap 50%. Now I have already missed this trade because this is not going to be touched. Nobody should touch this market right now. It started to go higher so fast, so you should not touch this market. If this candle could close here, you could go for the buy. This is the basic low. Then this low appeared on the chart. This low has cleared that low. Before going higher, market has cleared that low, failed to clear the origin low. This whole price action is dependent on that low. This is the intermediate term low. If this low is taken, it's not liquidity taken. It's called market structure shift. Market is going to be shifted and keep falling. This is the origin low that should not be cleared. But before going higher, if it would left that low open and build some kind of relatively equal lows, for example this low and that low, they're the relatively equal lows. If it could left that lows open, any kind of buy was low probability. But how this market worked, build relatively equal lows, this low, that low, relatively equal lows, take that relatively equal lows, failed to clear that low, origin low, started to go higher, came to this new week opening gap, consequent encroachment. No buy is valid from this area because you can clearly see that this market has cleared almost every kind of buy side liquidity. Okay, almost every kind of buy side liquidity, and just build a buy side liquidity actually with this high. So we'll see if it can left that buy side liquidity open so that I can frame a buy later. Okay, so this high and this high, relatively equal high. So we'll wait to see if it can fall first. Then I'll frame a buy for this buy side liquidity. Remember, no buy is valid if the market is below this fair value gap. There is no buy which is valid. That means if this market fall, go below this area, I'll start to look for sell. For where? This sell side liquidity. This is now sell side liquidity. I will look for this sell side liquidity now. Previously you told this is not sell side liquidity. Now you are saying this is the sell side liquidity. Look, when it went higher, cleared the buy side liquidity. Most of the buy side liquidity. This is the origin high. This is the origin high, highest high. If this high is taken, means market is bullish. Same here. So it left or engineered the buy side liquidity. Same the way it engineered the sell side liquidity over here. You want to take the buy, please go for that. I'm not interested to take the buy from here when I have seen a lot of buy sell liquidity has been cleared. If I would love to take a buy, I have to wait this market to fall more and then give me some kind of reaction or some kind of setup. Then and only then I'll be interested to look for the buy. Here, taking buy is highly risky to me. I'm not interested to take the buy. If you ask me, I prefer more selling opportunity instead of the buying. But of course, I'm not going to take the sell. I will wait for the price to show me something. Please, guys, for make sure that you have pushed the like button and subscribe to our channel if you are new. That's all, okay? Walaikum salam. Tech are trading toward equal highs and equal lows is magic according to my experience, really. But a specific equal highs and low that took opposite measure liquidity to not minor. Okay, cool, brother. Cool information. Will you cover PM session today? I am not sure, brother. Why the PM session is important today? Thank you, Tamim, for being here. Hi, Chitu in the chat. Hey, Marbra. How are you, brother? That Asian London high was too juicy. Absolutely, brother. So that was the opening gap that has been perfectly closed. The opening gap has been closed. You can see. Okay. And I have some opening gap left open from yesterday. Some opening gap is left open over there. If you would love to take a buy, please go for that. I'm not interested to take any kind of buy right now. I will wait. If I would love to take a buy, then I have to wait for this type of scenario. It will fall, clear that low, then it will give me a buying opportunity. I will go for that buy. But from here, I'm not interested to look for any kind of buy. I'll miss it. I'll miss it. No problem. I have this sell side liquidity here. I have this buy side liquidity so far here. How it is going to react. If this market cleared that relatively equal highs, for example, like this here, and then closed below this gap, it's one of the best reclaimed fair value gap. I will go for a sell from here with so much confidence that this market is going to fall for this sell side liquidity. After, if it cleared that high and then closed below this gap, right now I have this buy side liquidity on the market, I have this sell side liquidity on the market. Market has traded this new week opening gap, market has traded this new week opening gap. Concurrent crossband, concurrent crossband, same thing in a range. Sell side liquidity below the concurrent crossband, buy side liquidity above the concurrent crossband, respected both new week opening gap, concurrent crossband. Whoever interested to go for a trade, please take your decision. I'm just not interested to jump into a trade right now without any kind of context. Price have created equal highs. Yes, sir. Prices created the relatively equal highs over there, brother. Thank you so much for asking the likes. Please, guys, push the like button. How many likes did I get, by the way? 100? I didn't. 116 people watching and just 56 likes. Guys, can you please push the like button? If Mahdi is here, please let me know. Sophia, if you are here, let me know. Look, I'm waiting because I don't know what is going to happen. But brother, I know this is going to be taken because this is a very clean buy side liquidity. I'm interested to go for a buy right now. Go for that. It's chasing market. You want to chase the market? You're welcome. I'm not interested. brother, it is going to fall for this sell side liquidity. How do you know that? I don't know that. I'm here. Thanks for the explanation. Oh, okay. You already got the explanation. Thank you, sister. I was asking because I wanted to tell you to watch the first part. I just don't know what is going to happen right now. Whatever you are seeing, the buy side and sell side, and you are seeing these candles, it seems like maybe market is going for that sell side liquidity. You don't want to miss that run from here to here. Or some of you are thinking that it has traded this bullish fair value gap, maybe upper quarter of 50% of this gap. Now it is going for that buy side liquidity. All of this is your expectation. I'm not interested to work with my expectation. I would love to go for the trade with the price action. Expectation is it can go for this buy side, it can go for the sell side liquidity. It is the expectation. All I need price action right now. After getting the price action, I'll jump into the trade. First of all, if you have both buy side and sell side liquidity, always remember that this is 50-50. There is much more possibility you will get stopped out. You'll be wrong because it's 50-50, flipping a coin. Either it's going to be head or it's going to be tail. So that is 50-50 chance. I would love to work with the high probability. That means the buy side is taken, market is going for the sell side liquidity, that is a high probability. Or market fall first, clear that sell side liquidity, now it is going for that buy side liquidity, that is a high probability. Not 50-50, maybe 80-20. So there is an 80% opportunities market will go for that buy side liquidity after clearing the sell side liquidity. Or after clearing the buy side liquidity, market will go for that sell side liquidity. There is an 80% possibility, not 100%, 80%, because it can keep continue to go higher for the next buy side liquidity area. That is a high probable area. But right now, this is 50-50. This market can simply take that buy side liquidity, then start to fall for the sell side liquidity, or maybe it will go for that sell side liquidity at first, then it will go for that buy side liquidity, or maybe it will just take the buy side liquidity, fall until the 50%, and then start to go higher. Anything it is happening, going to happen, it's 50-50 right now until one of the side is not cleared. Either the sell side liquidity or that buy side liquidity is not cleared. According to the 15-minute chart, this buy side liquidity is much more stronger comparing with this sell side liquidity. So I want to see it will fall first, then it will go higher for this buy side liquidity. I would love to see that because 1 minute time frame is much more weaker comparing with 15-minute time frame. So I really would love to see it will clear at least some kind of low, and then it will start to go higher for this buy side liquidity without clearing this sell side liquidity. That's the best case of scenario for me, and I really would love to work with that if I can catch it. Walaikum salam, Wakas. How are you, brother? Hi, Titu and all. Hope everything is not going to celebrate Christmas in raid. I think so, sister. I think we are going to make a green day today. I'll try my level best. I'll be very choosy. I'll be very specific to go for my trade today. I really don't want to make any kind of bad decision before the Christmas. So I will be very specific for the trade. When I will get kind of 80-90% confidence, then I'll go for the trade. Not going to catch random legs like yesterday. Remember random legs? I keep catching the legs yesterday. I'm not interested to go for this type of trade today. Where it, I forgot actually. I wanna be very choosy today. Go to your 15-second chart. Okay, go to your 15-second chart. If you have the opportunity to go to the 15-second chart, when this candle appeared on the chart, that specific candle appeared on the chart, trade the upper quadrant and closed over here. After closing this candle, 934 candle, go to your 15-second chart and see if this candle gave you a perfect run. Okay, some kind of perfect setup. If this candle can give it to you, you will understand what I mean to say by 15-minute chart and 1 minute chart. That is, time is fractal. You will be able to use the same concept with 1 minute chart and 15 seconds chart. So if you have the opportunity, just go and observe it or study it. This week is not important. It's not important to me. While I'm watching, this has traded the 50% of this week. Doesn't have any value to me. This week doesn't have any value to me. We will be live trading on Friday. Friday, Christmas is Thursday, right? Friday is okay. I think we'll be able to go with that. Barbara. Will be a bit late, but having listened to you for some time now, I think I can decode your notes and until funny you speak in opposite. I can decode your notes and until funny you speak in opposites. Okay, I think it's my pronunciation, brother. I'm extremely sorry. If it's a bit difficult to understand, I'm really sorry. I'll try to fix that as well. Thank you for telling me the weaker point. Thank you so much, brother. Not, not, so that not until should be until, right? Thank you, brother. Okay. Look, I'm watching this 15-minute chat. Try to understand. This 1 minute chat is just a noise to me. I am not interested to watch this 1 minute chat. I'm just watching what is happening on 15-minute chat. Is it respecting this new week opening gap? Is it taking or something? In 1 minute chat, it's open just for the opportunities to push the button. That is just only because of that I'm watching this 1 minute chat. Otherwise my whole concentration is 15-minute chat, what it is respecting, how it is respecting that area, and why it should respect that area, how long it can respect that area, how far it can fall from that area. All of these things are important to me. On the 15 seconds chart there was a CB and that inversed and took the relatively equal highs. Got your reply, Sujipan. Just you have to switch the time frame. If 1 minute chart is your higher time frame, go to your 15 seconds chart. If 15-minute chart is your higher time frame, go to your 1 minute chart for execution. If 5 minute chart is your higher time frame, go to your 30 seconds chart for your execution. If 4 hour chart is your higher time frame, then go to your 5 minute chart to execute your execution. If 1 hour is your higher time frame, then go to 2 minute to 3 minute. Okay, both of them are good. 2 minute, 3 minute. But I think 1 hour chart is aligned with the 4 minute chart as well. I'm just not sure about that. You can study this if you want. 30-minute chart is aligned much more beautiful with 2 minute chart. 30-minute time frame is much more aligned with 2 minute chart. But I think 1 hour chart is good for 2, 3, 4, 3 time frame. Okay, so whatever it is, I think so. You can just study this if you are interested. This one time frame is your high time frame, another time frame your execution time frame. If I don't get any better opportunity, I'm not going for any kind of trade. If you are interested to go for buy or sell because you are seeing right now this market is trading this bullish fair value gap, and you are interested to catch the buy because you are more interested to see some kind of buy side liquidity, more buy side liquidity will be taken, your congratulations, take the buy. I'm not thinking any kind of buy or sell right now. I'm just waiting. This area after this run, market is consolidating. So I'm letting the consolidation go before taking any kind of decision. All I can see that market has cleared a beautiful buy side liquidity. So I don't need to think about a buy again until this body or market is not leaving that area with fair value gap. It's not leaving that buy side area. I'm not interested to go for any kind of trade. If I see this consolidation area market left with a fair value gap, then I will start to think that this is a continuation of the run. Then I will decide, should I go for the trade or shouldn't I go for the trade? Should I wait for a sell or something like that? I have to wait for that because I don't have any other buy side liquidity near to the market. And market didn't leave me any sign that is telling me I'm leaving this buy side area. So this zone, it seems like liquidity is taken, it can reverse for this relatively equal lows. I need some kind of sign that is going to tell me I'm leaving this area and I'm going for the another buy side liquidity. Until now, there is nothing. There is a fair value gap, but this gap is below this line. See this buy side liquidity line? So how do I know that it's gonna hold the market? Said it had. I can't think like that way. I leave some kind of sign that is telling me I didn't sweep the liquidity. I have cleared the liquidity and I'm keep going higher. I need that sign to go for the buy. Because is it sweeping the liquidity or it has cleared the liquidity for the continuation? I just don't know, right? Market has cleared a huge buy side liquidity. So is it going to fall for now some kind of sell side liquidity or is it keep going higher? How do I know that? How do you know that? Just because of this gap? Ask yourself, is that enough? That after clearing some buy side liquidity, you are using this bullish gap for the continuation? Are you sure about that? Why you are sure? Why you are thinking that it is a continuation to go higher? Because of your bias? Because of your uh, maybe experience? What is that? Now according to my experience, I know that I'm not sure yet. Is it sweeping liquidity and market is going for the sell side liquidity, or maybe at least until this gap, or maybe until the 50% of this 15-minute gap? I'm not sure. So I'm not interested to frame a buy from this gap. Are you getting my point? Do you understand? What do I understand? The sweeping liquidity continuation. It's very important, okay? I'm not saying that it's going to fall. All I'm saying, I'm just not sure how this gap is going to work. However, if it closes below this gap, I'll frame my first sell for today from this gap by covering some specific area, of course, depending on the candle close, until to the top of this 50-minute inverse gap. After clearing the buy side liquidity, I'm going to predict this market is going for this sell side liquidity, okay? If it closes below this gap, I'll take the first sell for today. From the reclaimed gap, if you are my member, YouTube member, you already know about this gap. Though if there is some kind of violation, this is December, you have to accept that. This gap is respecting so beautifully. So of course I have to wait this gap to be broken because this gap is very important gap. Just remember guys, I'm not watching this this area. I'm not watching it. I'm watching here on my right hand side what is happening over there. I'm just watching them. What is happening here? I'm seeing that the low of this new week opening gap is holding the market. Market came here to trade the upper level of the new week opening gap and respecting from there. All I'm watching here, not here. This is a noise to me. If it provide me the entry, I'll go for that. Okay. Consumer confidence at 10 a.m. I don't think so. It has a I mean impact on NQ chart. I don't think so that. But you can wait for that. Okay, you can go for that. I see that on the 15-second chart, but what was the importance of the 1 minute 934 candle relative to that? This candle, that week, I was showing you the week, how you can use the week quadrant level. That week 1 minute quadrant level as your higher time frame and execute that trade on 15 seconds chart. Understand, sister? The upper quadrant of the large swing is tapped but not closed above. So I'm waiting for more data. Yeah, that's cool, brother. This is how you'll go for that, brother. Again, I'll keep it here and I will wait to see if the body can close. Remember, if the body doesn't close, I'm not going to take this trade. Thanks to you, you're teaching us patience, not only price actions. Thank you, sister. Hey, Kuba. Do you know why new week opening gap is not visible on lower time frame? I have no idea, brother. I was also thinking about that. Why it's not showing on 1 minute chart? Because previously it was visible on 1 minute chart as well. But I don't know what happened. Suddenly it's not working actually. Again, guys, I highly recommend to all of you, don't follow my trade. Don't copy my trade. Go with your trade. I don't want to take any kind of blame. It's your money. Take your decision by yourself. I'm just here to show you, to open your eyes, how to see the market. Let's see if it can take me actually. I'm just not sure it will take me or not. If it takes me, good. I'll count 5 candle actually. See if it can take me or not. Again, if I miss it, I'm not going to cry because I missed it. Because I know that next time when I'll get it, maybe I'll get my boom. All I am happy here that I didn't go for the buy. I didn't chase the market. I knew that how this is going to work. Okay, so it depends on the luck. Are you going to get into the trade or you're missing the trade? But you have to happy that you knew how it is going to work. You have to happy for that. Now, to be honest, it went too far. I really don't want to believe this anymore. I think I have missed this trade, unfortunately, because if it could take me, I could take a partial over here. Unfortunately, I missed this trade. Okay, so yep, I'm going to close it. I missed this trade because market didn't take me. If it would take me, look at this. If it could take me over here, I would get some kind of partial over here. As I missed it, I'm gonna let it go. I'm not going to take it anymore because the run is too far. Even though it didn't finish the 5 candle, but it's actually went too far from this area. I missed the opportunity to take the partial. So not going to take it anymore. We'll wait. If you're my member, of course you know how to use this reclaimed gap. But here it's a bit tricky, but at least you will get an overall idea. Anybody got that run, by the way? Was there anyone who actually got this run? I really miss this because it take me to the. No, it didn't actually. However, if any of you got that run, try to take some partial, okay? Try to take some partial around here somewhere. Kind of 32 handle doesn't, you don't need to take that partial around to 32 handle. Try to take the partial around 25, 26 handle, something like that, okay? Just clear the partial. I think that's a good idea. No need to hold the partial until that area. I'm just giving you an overall, just take an partial, random partial. If any of you got that entry, just bad luck, but you have to happy that you knew how it is going to work. And trust me, this is the best feelings ever to know how it is going to work. Like look yesterday, look today, this is the best feelings, and I'm explaining. I'm not simply just framing the trade, I'm also explaining you how to frame the trade and which way you should frame the trade. Okay, so please focus on learning rather than copying the trade. Please, it's a request. If any of you get the entry, to be honest, please try to take some partial. I don't know if you get it or not, but if you get, unfortunately I didn't get it because it didn't tap to the gap just for one tick, I guess. Bad luck. While I was watching this 15-minute chart, how it was reacting from this, look at this leg. Think this is a bullish market. I don't care. I wanted to catch that run, that leg, some portion of that leg. This is how you will read the market. Trust me, man. If you keep watching me, if you keep following the things I'm telling you, it's gonna change your whole trading style. Very easy. I'm keep saying that this reading market is too easy, too easy, too easy. Just you are making it complicated because you are focusing on entry only. You don't know how to look for that. You are saying this is bullish, you are taking buy. No, it's not right. It didn't show any kind of confirmation that it is going higher. It's simply a liquidity sweep. So you know that you are going to get that entry. Even if it doesn't go for the sell side liquidity, it will fall at least to the top of this gap, which is the inverse gap over here, right? So I know that if I can frame a sell from this reclaimed gap, I'll be able to take at least the partial and then the second partial and finally close the trade over here, whatever is going to happen. However, right now I don't have any other way to enter into this market right now. I will wait for the next opportunity. I'm so sorry because it didn't take me. If any of you got that entry, take the partial, put your stop loss to the break even. Simple. Make it very simple. Guys, please push the like button, subscribe to our channel if any of you are new over here. If you don't push the like button, then I will say that, man, this is absolutely dishonesty, okay? I know that what I'm sharing with you. I know that, man. I know my pronunciation is bad, my accent is bad. Right now, I have nothing to do except watching this market. I'm bad luck. This is just bad luck. It didn't take me. Otherwise, just look at this run. Just look at this run. What I'm saying that I know what I'm sharing with you. You don't give it value. I don't care, but I know that what I'm sharing with you, it's as value as like you have to pay for at least $5,000 to $10,000 other people to join their course to learn these things even much more complicated way, thousand times complicated way. They will add lot of confluences over here, and I'm trying to make it much more simpler to you so that you can easily understand how to wait for the setup, how to go for that setup. Not kind of 100% guarantee, but yeah, still. So please give me likes. That's all I am asking. Not money. I'm not interested about your money. I'm interested about the likes only. Please give me the likes. I feel nothing, teacher. Feel nothing? What do you mean by that? Murshid, I entered as soon as it inversed the parallel gap. You did wrong. You should not do that. But congratulations for your boom, brother. You are afraid to miss this trade. It's called FOMO, fear of missing opportunity. It will destroy you, Murshad. I feel nothing, Tito. What do you mean by that? I have nothing to do on this call. It is my bad luck. Market didn't give me the entry just for one tick. It's my bad luck. Otherwise, just look at this run. Wow. Awesome. Here, pushing button is called chasing market. I'm not interested to chase this market. Got 45 handles. Okay, no problem. Now I can only watch. Yes, sir. We can only watch. Surf Matthew, did you take that entry by the way? Why you were saying that you can only watch? It came to 50% of yesterday first fair value gap and reversed from 25 for 749. Okay. See, Shirke, how you are making this so much complicated? You don't need all of those information. You don't need them. But still, we are making the things complicated. We don't need to make it complicated, brother. Trust me. Boom for me. Why you are laughing, brother? Are otaku? The immediate rebalancing was good. Absolutely, brother. You said you should feel happy when target profit hit. Okay. Okay, man. You don't feel anything. No problem. The best entry was the bearish order block. I don't see any order block over there, unfortunately. Done trading in two funded accounts, switched to Eval now. Okay, Suzivan, did you get that entry? Congratulations, brother. Bro, could you please let me just a second? Okay, I have to accept receive this call from my mother. She's going to sleep. Sorry, I'll just talk to her. Just take a minute. Assalamu alaikum. ওষুধ খেয়েছেন আম্মা? আচ্ছা আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে বাবা, সমস্যা নেই আম্মা, ঘুমায় পড়েন। কিলো আছে? ফাজিল। আচ্ছা ঠিক আছে বাবা, শুয়ে পড়েন তাহলে। আল্লাহ আল্লাহ হাফেজ। কাম ব্যাক। Bro, could you please let me know the new day opening gap date near the buy side liquidity? It's from November 30, 2025. November 30, 2025. New week opening gap. Good morning, Kishore. Brother, explain higher time frame bias. Brother, I have already done it at the beginning of this live. Every day I do that. Please watch the first part of this live. 10-0 to gap to sell side. You can go for that. I don't see anything over here. I'm not interested to chase this market. It's called chasing market. I'm not able to chase the market. There is only one way to go for this trade, to take this trade is, see this last fair value gap. Now I'm not going to go for that because it's a very small range. See this gap. The only way to catch that run is from here until this sell side liquidity, which I'm not going to do, of course, because I know that my stop loss will be here somewhere. So even for just 9 handle, I'm not interested to take this whole risk. But again, you can go whatever you want to do. I'm not interested to chase the market right now. I'm not bearish. It doesn't need to clear these lows. Doesn't need to do that. If it do that, and I was in this trade from here, I would be happy to clear that liquidity. But I'm not interested to see this liquidity to be cleared. I'd love to see it will start to go higher without clearing this liquidity. I'm not interested to enter over here, even if it go for this sell side liquidity, which is absolutely obvious to everyone. I'm not interested. Again, you wanna take the sell, go for that. Okay, it's a new week opening gap from 30th November. Oh, Sophia, thank you so much, sister. Yes, I took the trade. That's why I'm done trading. I took a trade early before market opened. Okay, okay, as well. Okay. Don't overtrade, by the way. Could 1932 be a breaker block? There is no breaker block. To me, there is no breaker block. No problem, brother. No need to thank me. 946, 947, 948 are the water blocks. Change in state of delivery. I don't see any water block over here. I don't see any water block over here. If you see some, you can use it. Look what I'm seeing over here. After even seeing this candles traded this new week opening gap, I'm seeing there is no water block. Okay, so yesterday I have used the same logic of the order block, same logic that has traded the new week opening gap. This is the candle. Remember, I used the same order block, used the entry even, managing that order block that has traded this new week opening gap. But here, I don't have any order block around this area. Nothing over here. To me, again, it's to me. It's for me. Boom. Congratulations, brother, for your boom. It took Asia High monthly first present fair value cap new opening cap out just way too early and took all my shorts to first live and learn. Live and learn. Okay. I appreciate it, man. I'm just watching how this candles is going to respect the new week opening gap. Top of the new week opening gap. Consonant has been respected. So can it respect from the top to the new week opening gap now? Consonant crossment rejection, top rejection. Can it reject from here? I'm just watching it. So this candle fall straight to the top of this new week opening gap. Right now it is trading this bullish fair value gap over here from 15-minute chart as well as this inverse gap. On 1-minute chart, it is respecting from this gap over here, violated this gap. That gap was the bullish PD array over here. If this market wanted to go higher, it should work as a bullish PD array, right? That gap should work as a bullish PD array. Now it failed to work as a bullish PD array, which is a best inverse fair value gap right now. What do I mean by that? If I am able to take a sell like this way, that's my sell now for this sell side liquidity over here from this gap. If I failed to take the sell from that gap, this order block is the best area to take the sell. I'm not interested to take the sell from this order block, at least from the opening. The reason is the stop loss is going to be too big. So love to frame the sell from here around this area to take the sell if it give me that sell from this inverse fair value gap. Now, until now you told that you are not interested to take sell. Suddenly why you are looking for the sell? That reaction when it appeared on the chart over here, it should keep going higher, respecting this bullish PDRA by leaving this sell side liquidity respecting here. It didn't do that. When it stopped over here by this gap, and so beautifully it has respected this gap. You can see the low of this gap and constant crossment of this gap, all of this thing area. I'm confident that it is going for this sell side liquidity right now. Even if it failed to take that sell side liquidity, it will reach at least until this last fair value gap. It's my greatest opportunity to take the sell either from this order block, consecutive order block, or from this inverse gap. If it was a low volatility, then I would enter into the trade either from the low of this consecutive order block or to the opening of this order block. As it is a high volatile area, I have to cover the high of this order block. I will try to take myself from this inverse gap. If it give me the entry from this inverse gap, immediately within 5 candle, I will take this sell, will cover my partial to this last fair value gap from 1 minute chart, 1 minute chart last fair value gap, and will hold my trade for this sell side liquidity. If I don't get the entry over here from this inverse gap, I'll let this go just because I'm not able to take my entry from this order block opening because of the high volatility, highly volatility, okay, high volatility, highly volatility, whatever you say. 15-minute candle, I'm going to predict this is going to close below this gap, which gap was prior to 9:30, a very important gap. I'm going to predict it is going to close below this gap. I don't know that it is going to close below this gap or not, but I'm going to predict that it's going to close below this gap. So if it closes below this gap, there is nothing that going to stop me to take this sell side liquidity. However, let's see, this is my opportunity to see if it can give me the entry from this area, while I have seen market has left a new or engineered new sell side liquidity right here. I am not going to take this sell if I see this market came to this last fair value gap. If it come to this last fair value gap, I will not take this sell. If it is more than 5 candle, I'll not take this sell. I will miss this sell, market will fall, I'll let this fall. I'm not able to take the sell from here just because of my stop loss. So remember, keep that in your mind. There you go. That's my entry. This is gonna be the partial, the last fair value gap. When it will start to fall, I will put my partial level to the last fair value gap. Remember, I was predicting this candle is going to close below this gap. Unfortunately, it didn't close below this gap, so it is still respecting. If I get stopped out, I will immediately switch my bias. While it will close above this gap, I'll immediately switch my bias and I will take the buy again. As the body failed to close below this gap, I was predicting it is going to close below this gap. Unfortunately, it didn't close it. So if I see that market closed, which I am not interested to see, above this gap, I will immediately switch my bias, will look for the buy again. Just because it didn't close below this gap, which was important prior to 9:30. As it didn't close below this gap, maybe the top of this new week opening gap is going to hold the market, sending it higher. So I'll look for that buying opportunity. Stop loss is just above this week because this week is important to me. I don't want to see that week is going to be broken and market will keep going higher. If it do that, I'll switch my bias, will try to look for the buying opportunity while this market will close above this gap. Traded the upper quadrant of that week, maximum line should be traded the upper quadrant, that should be the maximum line. Got stopped out, it's broken. Now we'll wait to see if it can close above this gap. If it close above this gap, this is gonna be my entry from this gap. So it will start to go higher, I'll look for the buy from this gap. If it doesn't do that, I mean it didn't close above this gap, fall closed below this gap, we'll use this gap again the same way I have used this gap. As here I have used it as a reclaimed gap, here I am going to use it as an inverse reclaimed gap. So I'm going to cut through these candles depending on the candle close of that gap. If it close above this gap, I'm interested to look for buy. If it doesn't close above this gap, closed below this gap, before closing above this gap, we'll go for the sell from this gap. And now it closed. If it fall here, I'll take the buy. I don't know, you are able to go to your ES or NQ. Maybe you will get some kind of SMT over here. don't think so I'll be able to take this buy actually. I'll wait a bit more actually. Not going to push the button, I'll wait a bit more. Stop loss is too big actually. Stop loss is too big, okay, to be honest. Now, after taking a losing trade, I don't want to take this risk because this is really too risky. Anyone is able to go for that, so welcome. 1:1, and until this gap. You can take this risk, so welcome. I'm not interested to take that risk. So let this go. If any of you are interested, you guys can take it. And of course, make sure that you have taken some kind of partial around 28 handle 75 here somewhere you take the partial. Okay, I'm just not taking it after losing trade, like I'm dealing with a lot of people over here, so I just don't want to take that huge risk over here. There's no SMT, we are still bearish, I believe. No, I don't see any bearishness over here. Bearishness is done when this candle has closed above this area. Bearishness is done. I'm just not interested to take this buy just because it's a huge SMT over here. I mean, sorry, huge stop loss over here, at least here. So I just don't want to enter over here because it's a huge stop loss. But it has already confirmed the bullishness for the buy side liquidity over here, at least until this gap, which is an unfinished business. So even if I'm wrong about this buy side liquidity, I'll be able to get some profit until this area. So it's a valid buy here. I'm just not taking it because I'm dealing with a lot of people over here, kind of pressure, a lot of pressure. So I'm just not taking it. As I explained it already, if it close above this gap is the buying opportunity. Stop loss is bigger, I'm not taking it. It's up to you, everyone. It's up to you. If you feel good, go for the trade. If you don't feel good, don't take this trade. But if you take that trade, for example, you have to take the partial over here, which is 1:1. I prefer to close the trade around 20 handle, take the partial 20 handle, but at least go with 1:1. I'm observing this candle to see if it can close out this candle, use it as an order block. The reason is, look at this candle. This candle is respecting this gap over here, this gap, as well as it has tapped to the top of this new week opening gap. So even if it is not bullish market, even if it is not interested to go for this buy side liquidity, at least it should come for this unfinished business to finish over here. This is an unfinished business. Market didn't trade this gap, so it should go over there. If it wants to go over here, I know that I'll be able to catch a partial over here. It's not the order block yet. If the body close out this line, then it's gonna be the order block. I'll just watch it, okay? Why you didn't push the button if you are so much confident? Look, this is all the game of the probability. After taking a losing trade, if I take a highly risky entry, for example, here's 36 handle, something like that, even if I don't do that, cover at least the breakaway gap low, and I'm wrong, I got another losing trade, it will make a huge pressure to me. So I don't want to take a risk over here. This is 22 IT model. I just don't want to take that risk. I'll let this go, find out another opportunity. If I find, then I'll go for that. If you would love to take this trade, which is absolutely valid, brother, no need to worry about that. Just nothing, okay? I just didn't push because I'm in live. For example, if I were trading by myself, this would be my buy. After getting stopped out over here, that would be my buy. That is the simplest thing I can tell you, okay? So yeah. All I need to see if the body can close above this order block, and then the order block started to respect, market started to go higher. Remember, I don't know this buy side liquidity yet, but until this gap. So if you any of you are in this trade, make sure that you have taken some partial or close your trade around here. And according to the price action for last few days, you know that after the run market start to consolidate, it is always better to catch some partial around 20 handle, 25 handle, something like that. So if you are able to take some partial around 20 handle, 25 handle, try to take that partial. If any of you are in this trade, I'm not saying to copy the trade, I'm just asking if any of you are in this trade. By the way, is there anyone who is in this trade? Yeah, that's the 22 IT model, Matthew. Absolutely, brother. I just needed to confirm that it's broken. So when it has been broken here, that could be the fake breakout. Market could start to fall, but when it has closed above this gap a lot of times, kind of confident that it will start to go higher. Okay, so you don't. After this, it is still confusing, but here it's not confusing anymore. This is the midnight open. By here, this is the midnight open. So you can see market just simply tapped to this midnight open and reacting from there. We'll see if how it is going to work actually. Just remember, this is December price action. Try to take some partial as soon as possible. It has a lot of probability to do the consolidation rest of the day. The way we are seeing the market for last few days or few, yeah, last few days. I need the speed right now within 1 or 2 minutes, maximum 3 minutes. I need the speed. This market has to give me the speed, immediate speed, very speed right now, like within maximum 3 minutes. I need the speed. Look at the time, you'll understand why I'm expecting the speed right now. Why 1018 is the order block? Shouldn't the 1019 one that visited the fair value cap? See this candle, sorry, see this gap over here, around here, the gap. It's an inverse gap that I'm using for use. Remember what did I say at the beginning? What did I say? If the body close above this gap, then this is a bullish market. So when the candle has closed, I want to use this gap as my support. When this candle appeared on the chart, I'm gonna refer the gap to the candle. So from the gap, I'm referring it to the candle that is gonna hold the market. This gap is not important to me anymore. Until here, it's important. When this candle trade this gap, inverse gap, I have already got the order block, change in state of delivery. So this down close market is gonna be a up close market by using this candle. I'm gonna predict it like that way. Now, if you look for the 22 IT model, for example, market structure shift, fair value gap, there is no order block yet for you. There is no order block. Now, it's not a perfect 22 IT model, by the way, because market didn't clear the liquidity. And according to 2G1, there is no SMT as well. I don't want to see not even a single body to come until the 50% of this candle anymore. Not even a single body should come. Now, is it coming here? Why? December. Other areas, I don't want to expect anybody to come to this mean threshold because it has been broken over here. One candle has broke the order block mean threshold. Next body has closed above the mean mean threshold of that order block. So it has done its job over here. When it has closed above this order block, it should not come back again the mean threshold of that order block. Instead, it should keep going higher. If it come back here, means this order block is now very weak. It's a very weak. Until the second time, it is acceptable. But third time, when it will close above this order block, and then if it come to the mean threshold again, look, first time, after building the order block, first time, this is the second time, and when it will close above this order block, then it will come back again to this mean threshold. It's going to be broken, something like that. However, it didn't work actually. I'm going to remove it because it's very messy and I'm expecting the speed right now, but market is not giving me the speed. Finally, it has cleared that low to take the liquidity. And Jamil, the question you have asked me, if it closed as a down close candle, then this is gonna be the order block depending on that fair value gap. It's not the order block because it's the bullish candle. If it closes as a down close candle, then it can be your 22 YT model order block, to be honest, if it can close as a black candle. And in this type of scenario, you have to use the consecutive candle because this candle is very small body so far. Just missed my stop loss, just a bit. Just a bit, it missed my stop loss. It should speed toward the direction right now. 10:30. Look at the time. Time is the main factor of this market. You need the speed right now. Middle of the hour is always according to your direction. Top of the hour is always, not always, most of the time, the fake run, fake move. So you are expecting the bullish run and you saw it's near 11. Market is here. You are looking for the buy run. There is 90% possibility you will get stopped out because first market will do the manipulation, then it will go toward the direction. But around 10:30 level, that means 10:30, 9:30, 8:30, 6:30, 5:30, whatever it is, around 5, that 30 minute, the run toward your direction is always, not always, most of the time is the accurate run or the your direction wise run. So I'm expecting the bullish run, and I will get some kind of bullish run. Okay, so something like that. Oh, by the way, the entry should be here, right? Stop loss was, where was the stop loss? I think here was the stop loss. Should go for the 1:1. Where is the 1:1? Forgot actually. So 29 handle, 29 handle, 9 handle. Just keep it over there, okay? Just randomly I'm putting it over here. So finally, this is the down close body close candle after violating this one. That, yeah, kind of this one. So I can use this candle as my order block. It is still valid because nobody has closed below this candle. So I can still use this candle as the order block. However, I just moved the order block because not a good area to look for the order block, and I'm not interested to look for the order block entry. Hmm, I think it's the great time to trail the stop loss below this candle. It's the greatest time because market is not moving anywhere. So I think it's the perfect time. If any of you are in this trade, by the way, you should move the stop loss below this week. That week has cleared. All other weeks traded this fair value gap. So I think it's the best time to move your stop loss below that week. I don't want to see this gap is going to be violated. Should not violate this gap. Should respect this gap, go toward the direction at least until this area. After taking the 1:1 partial, wherever it is gonna be, I'll just randomly mark it here. I really don't know where is your stop loss or where it was. Just go for the partial if any of you are in this trade, and then put your target around here. I'll just randomly put this partial over there. Jamil, did you get the reply, brother? You gotta be careful in December and January. Absolutely, sir. You have to be careful. That's why I told that where I'm expecting the speed, I'm not getting the speed. Okay, so that's why I told if you are able to take the partial around 20 to 25 handle, that is the best case of scenario. Just take the partial randomly and put your stop loss to the break even. That's the safe side, okay? Because this market really doesn't move. It start anytime it can start the consolidation. So be very careful about that. Human frame time to stop trading, it's going to be bad Christmas. Of course not. We have framed a losing trade, of course, but also framed a winning trade as well. My first trade didn't give me the entry. So that was my first opportunity to take the sell from here until the sell side liquidity or until to the top of this gap. That was the first opportunity. It just missed my entry for a bit, just for a bit, one tick. Yesterday was a beautiful day, and until here somewhere, I just don't remember where was the top of this gap. That was the first trade we have framed. The second trade we have framed here. Not bad. That was the second trade. It was not a good sorry, good trade. So we took a loss of 19 handle, 20 handle, something like that. That was the third opportunity to go for the trade. I just didn't push the button. I clearly told that there was no confusion. This is a bullish market, at least until here. No confusion. So yeah, so far is also going to provide you like how much? 25 handle. So your loss was kind of 19-20 handle, and you are able to catch the partial already for 28 handle, something like that. 90. Okay, here. And if it come at least until there, you will get 43 handle. After taking the partial or closing, you also can close the trade if you want. Put the stop loss to the break even and then let it run at least until here. More importantly, for this buy side liquidity. So not a bad day, I think. I was able to take first partial and stopped me out at the break even. Guys, have a great day. And thank you, Titu, for every day come live and share your knowledge. I got the reply. Thanks. No problem. So I hope you guys got the point why I was switching my bias while this gap has been broken and why I was so much confident about that. This is the part you have to react with the price action. So I'm seeing the liquidity here. Remember, this new week opening gap is 1,000 times stronger comparing with the sell side liquidity. These liquidities are from 1 minute chart. From 15-minute chart, look, there is no sell side liquidity. Do you see any sell side liquidity over here? But from 15-minute chart, you can clearly see there is some kind of buy side liquidity. This high has been cleared over here by a shallow run. This is the obvious liquidity. So it's a perfect area to go for this buy side liquidity from 15-minute chart. However, it is right now trading today's new day opening gap over here. Let's see if it can go through this new day opening gap. This is today's new day opening gap, guys. Okay, it has some power to give some kind of reaction. I prefer it will at least tap to this gap. It should tap it because it's an unfinished business. I really appreciate if it can trade this gap. Not a bad day, right, guys? Like overall, yeah, we have framed a losing trade, but still not a bad day so far. Bit difficult consolidation we are seeing, but it is expected on December. But we know when we should react in which way. Can you please push the like button? How many likes did I get so far? 83 likes. So can you please make it 100 likes, please? It's because 136 people are watching. 83 likes. Do you like December price action? 30% said yes. Wow. These are the what to say? What I can call them? They're the legend. Those people who love the price action, December price action, they're the legend. I really appreciate it. I really give them the honor from my heart. They're awesome. They're awesome. For me, this is shit price action. So I'm with this 59% of the people. There's no comment for 11% of the people. Okay, it's cool. But please, guys, push the like button. Make it 100 likes, please. Kuba, I'm waiting for your boom. You will write down the boom. I'm waiting for that. Just need to see that this 50-minute candle can break this new opening gap or not. I wish it will break it. If it failed to break it, bad luck. I need that this gap is gonna be touched by the candles. It should be touched. It's an unfinished business. Even if it would love to fall, it has to reach until the low of this gap, which it failed to touch by one tick here. And then if it can go through this, it's gonna be the buy side liquidity. That's gonna be the target. But for right now, I really would love to see it will touch the low of this gap. Not this time. Stop loss. I took entry from order block. You didn't take the entry from order block. You told that you took the entry from this fair value gap. Marba, are you going to live tomorrow? Do we have anything tomorrow? I really don't know. Do we have anything tomorrow? I think Thursday is the holiday. So tomorrow is Wednesday. We think it's cool. There we go. Is there anyone who are in this trade? Is there anyone who was in this trade and survived? At least got the partial, by the way. Now, I really don't know it will go through this gap and go for this area or not. If it close above this gap, I'm going to remove this gap now because it's done its job. I'm going to put here. Anybody can tell me that what is that? And can we use this gap? Okay. Boom. Thank you so much, brother. Thank you so much. Is there anyone who were in this trade? Sometimes when I get stopped out, what I do, I wait for the re-entry and I immediately switch my bias. This is the part, please try to understand, brother. So here, when yesterday, remember, I got stopped out at the beginning and I told that I'm interested to look for re-entry. And today, when I got stopped out here, immediately I switch my bias and go for the buy, not the sell anymore. Buy. Just you have to understand how this was reacting over there, why it is reacting, and I'm not interested to look for the re-entry. Instead of that, I'm going opposite way. Slowly, does it make any sense to you guys? It's not something like rocket science. It's very simple, but you have to focus, just focus, and keep giving me the feedback. Slowly, does it make any sense to you? This is a losing trend. Do I really care about that? I really don't care about that 20 handle because I know that I'm going to get 43 handle. At least, okay? At least 43 handle. I'm going to get that. I really don't care about this 20 handle, something like that. I'm not a retail trader who is going to see that, okay, if it confirm it is bullish, then I'll enter. No, I'm going to predict it to enter. Retail trader, wait for the confirmation. ICT trader, predict the confirmation. Not 100%, but most of the time, however. I was not in the trade, but I still wait. Boom. I still write boom. Thank you so much, Marbra. Last gap, absolutely, brother. Can I use this last gap to take my entry? Can I use this last gap to take my entry? Anybody can tell me that. Yeah, I was. Prince Mo, good. Sophia, good. Those people who are profitable, please don't take any other trade. Let the market go. Don't take any other trade, please. Can I use this last fair value gap to take my entry? Buy entry, not sell. Can I take buy entry from this last fair value gap? If yes, if you're writing yes, let me know why. If you write down no, let me know why. Why I can't use this gap, why I can use this gap. Please let me know that. Hey Dora, what is your account color, sister? Kuba, use. Please let me know why. Hmm, absolutely, Kuba. It's too premium to me. No, man, there is nothing. There is no need to think about the premium and discount. You already know that how to use the premium and discount. Sometimes you will expect market to be to the deep premium to take the entry. Only if 15-minute candle close above absolutely, it's true. It has to close, but I'm going to predict it's gonna close. Like it left 44 second and market is too far from that new day opening gap. So I can predict that this market is going to close above the new day opening gap. Green had a win this morning. Green had a win this morning. Congratulations, sister. Stop over trading. Yes, because it's the premium fair value gap. No, it's not because of the premium fair value gap. You can use this gap because it's the premium gap. No, it's wrong. This concept is wrong. Oh, is it really difficult to understand my English? Really? That difficult? I don't think so. It's so difficult. No, no reclaim gap. This is the last fair value gap. I clearly write it down. LFVZ. Last FVZ. Fair value gap. It's not the reclaim gap. It's not the inverse gap. It's not anything else. It's just the last FVZ. I don't care it is in the deep premium area or it is in the deep discounted area. All I care, this is the last fair value gap. Okay, it's very simple, sister. Listen, if you see buy side liquidity above the last fair value gap, you can use this last fair value gap to take your entry by predicting nobody is going to close below the constant crossment of the last fair value gap. Means if you have the buy side liquidity and you have seen the body has closed above the last fair value gap. When the first time it will tap to this last fair value gap, you are going to take the buy. This can keep falling, but body has to close above the constant encroachment of that last fair value gap. Then it will go for this buy side liquidity. If you don't have the buy side liquidity above the last fair value gap, that means there's just a swing high, a single high. You can't take this trade depending on that last fair value gap, expecting that market is not going to close below the constant encroachment. Is that clear? It's been a long sister. I'm just talking about this 10,000s of the time. I think this time it's 100% clear. I'm gonna repeat it one more time on for last time. If you have the buy side liquidity above the last fair value gap, you will expect this market is going to retest the last fair value gap and going to go for this buy side liquidity. Not even a single body is going to close below the constant encroachment. You are going to predict that. If it closed below this constant encroachment and you got stopped out, wait for the same case of scenario next time. If you don't get stopped out but body has closed below this constant encroachment, for the first time it is gonna close above the lowest down close body close candle that has closed below the constant encroachment. Put your stop loss below that candle and expect this buy side liquidity is gonna be taken. Whatever I told you until now is not valid if there is no buy side liquidity above the last gap. That means above the last gap, if you see just a single high, it didn't create any buy side liquidity or resistance zone. It's not valid. You are not able to take that buy. I think my point is absolutely clear this time. And I tried to talk like a English guy, kind of American guy. Sorry guys. It's a C of the reclaimed doesn't work as support. CE, it to be reclaimed, it will work as a support. We'll see that, brother. Not even a single body that has closed above the last fair value gap, LFVG. However, did it really give the entry? I really need to know, because was that a valid entry? I think it was a valid entry, right? Candle high is 25,707, 707.75. Oh, okay. Actually, we're watching this candle, this gap, not that gap. Okay, okay. Will you look for W trade from the last fair value gap? W trade? What do you mean by W trade, brother? W trade. I don't know what do you mean by W trade. What if it closed below? It can be used for sell. No, you can't do that. This is 1 minute last fair value gap. It can just give you the reaction. You are not able to take the sell from here without higher time frame. What did I tell you? If you don't have the higher time frame, you are not able to take the sell. So here, what is I'm going to do? This is the higher time frame that was holding the market. So I am interested to frame the trade from here, buy from here. Unfortunately, I missed the trade around here. Maybe I missed all these opportunities to take the trade. When I have missed all of this trade from here, I'm gonna catch the run from the last possible opportunity or last possible scenario. This is the last possible scenario to take the entry if I miss the trade from at the beginning of the run. So here the 15-minute chart is telling me the gap that is the reclaimed, sorry, the gap that is prior to 9:30 was very important. No sell is valid until the candle doesn't close below this area. Remember, we framed that sell by predicting it's gonna close below this area. Unfortunately, it didn't work like that. However, that was the beginning of the run. I'm interested to catch the run from here. If I miss it, get this candle. This is my last opportunity to go for this trade. The last opportunity. This candle has closed above this last gap. Next candle tap to this last gap. This is gonna be my last opportunity to go for this trade from here. Where is going to be my stop loss? Below the candles that has built this gap as an inverse gap. This is the first body below this gap. See this gap? Below the gap, this is the first body. Now my stop loss has to be below this low, but you can see below that low there is one more candle wick. So I have to just cover that wick plus 2 tick depending on the what to say, I mean the volume. If it is highly volume, plus 2 handle. If it is low volume, then plus 2 tick. So something like here, that's gonna be my stop loss. We'll go for 1:1 partial, which is kind of here. 1:1, right? 15 handle, 20 handle, partial, 1:1. We'll try to catch kind of 1:1 partial here. This is the last opportunity here. And going to hold the trade until this buy side liquidity plus 5 handle. After clearing some kind of partial over here, why I'm taking this trade in this deep premium area? First of all, my trade should be from here. I'm not allowed to chase this market. Nowhere. I'm not allowed to chase the market. As I missed the trade over here, I don't want to miss the run toward that buy side liquidity. So I'm going to use this last fair value gap to take my trade from here until this buy side liquidity. Remember, when it was falling, what did I say? None of this entry is valid over here. Only the trade is valid from here. because below this last parallel gap I have this sell side liquidity, so I'm only able to take the sell while the body will close below this last gap, will tap here, and then I'll go for the sell side liquidity. Unfortunately, there was a very small range. Look at this, a very small range over here. Fortunately, I have a bigger range over here. So below this last fair value gap, sorry, buy side liquidity, and sorry, in between buy side liquidity and the last fair value gap, I have enough range. So here to here, it's kind of 41 handle. So I have enough range. But here I had small range. From here to here, just 9 to 10 handle, something like that. So I told that I'm not interested to take the sell from here because it's a very small range. But here, this is a valid buy for me from to the top of this gap, so until this buy side liquidity after clearing some kind of partial, because you know there is new weak opening gap that can be respected. I don't want to get stopped out. I can clearly see that that first partial level is aligned with the 50% of the new weak opening gap. Yeah, I'm taking a bit risk, not framing, sorry, clearing the partial to the low by expecting it will go at least until the 50% of this new weak opening gap. If I had no new weak opening gap, I didn't need to worry about the buy side liquidity. As I have the new weak opening gap, I have to bit worry about the buy side liquidity to be taken because it can be respected from this new week opening gap. I just don't want to see anybody close below the constant encroachment. I just don't want to see that. If I see it has closed below this, here one candle has closed, and then another candle closed above the down close body close candle. Immediately I will move my stop loss below that candle. Why? Because the thing I was expecting, it's broken over here. At the same time, as my stop loss is over here somewhere, if it closed below this wick and never closed below the constant encroachment, never closed above this down close body close candle and stop me out, I will wait for this market to close above this gap again to take re-entry exactly from there, from the same kind of scenario until this buy side liquidity is not taken. I think my point is clear. Last time we have framed this same setup to the Discord, me and Kuba. What I have done wrong over there, there was another last fair value gap above this last fair value gap. Both of us actually missed that last fair value gap. Instead of that, we have marked the entry gap instead of the last fair value gap, which I was very careful today to see if there is any other last fair value gap above this last fair value gap. So I was very, I mean, sorry, uh, I was very careful about to mark the last fair value gap today, because last time I really don't know how I have missed it. Maybe I was watching the market through my phone, maybe because of that. I don't remember actually, but I missed that. I framed the same setup from the entry gap, not from the last gap, and you have seen that market perfectly came to the last fair value gap, then it rejected from there. But brother, I'm not interested to catch the partial around 20 handle. Do that, brother, do that, because when it tapped to the low, it's a low probability. When it tapped to this low, this new week opening gap has the power to stop the market, send it lower again. I'm just taking a bit more risk until the constant encroachment. So I prefer this market to reach until at least the constant encroachment. Even if it fall from there and take this sell side liquidity, I am expecting it will reverse from the constant encroachment of this new week opening gap. Now, if I'm extremely unlucky, then it can be respected from the low and then it can start to fall. But it is always better to take the partial. So that's why I'm saying, even if you're saying this is a very small run, like 1:1, like 20 handle, you're not happy to take the partial, don't you do that. You're greedy, don't you do that. Trust me, man. It's a very dangerous area. Very dangerous area. I am expecting it will go for that buy side liquidity, but it has to break this last two, I mean that gap. See how it has been respected over here. Look at these candles. How the bodies respected this gap. So this is a really strong gap. So trust me, you won't regret if you take the partial over here, put your stop loss to the break even. I mean, around 1:1, okay? So kind of 20 handle. So you can take that risk over here. If you are extremely unlucky, maybe you'll get stopped out, but you can take that risk, okay? So you didn't take the end partial to the low. Instead of that, you will take the partial to the constant encroachment. This risk is worthy. It's worth of. There is nothing wrong. But if you don't take the partial at least to the constant crossment, I'm not going to support that, because there is no guarantee this market is will go for that buy side liquidity and it is going to be broken. There is no guarantee. Can be respected thousands of the time. Please make sure you have taken the partial over here. If any of you are in this trade, that candle closed, tap to this gap, partial, put a stop loss to the break even, hold the trade for this buy side liquidity by praying to God, please give me that boom without stopping me out. This is 10,001 time I'm showing you this entry with the explanation of the last fair value gap entry, with the explanation. 10,001 time, remember. So next time when I'll tell you, brother, I have shown this trade 10,001 time, you will understand what I explained today about these things. This market, whenever I frame a trade, look at this. Sell, it didn't work. Risk 20 handle. Perfect buy. Until now perfect. 20 handle. Until now perfect. But as I explained, okay, I just don't know it's gonna be broken or not. If it is broken, one candle will close above the high of this new week opening gap. This is gonna be taken. Just I need to make sure it's not gonna hold the trade. So when it trade the mean threshold or the 50% of the new week opening gap, put a stop loss to the break even. But brother, I will get a stop loss to the break even. Don't give a shit, man. New week opening gap is extremely strong. Extremely strong. Look at this. Where the body has closed. Can you see? Body closed from 15-minute chart. Look at them. Look at them. How the body has closed. But brother, finally it is going for that buy side liquidity. Nobody knows that, brother. Trust me, it can be reversed from there and take these sell side liquidities. It has that power. This new week opening gap has that power, that much power. That's why I told I'm taking a bit risk, not taking the partial to the low, instead of that going to take the partial to the constant crossment, because this risk is worth of. Okay, it's worthy. Again, it's up to you, brother. The way you would love to do that, up to you. I just try to open your eyes. That's all. Thank you so much, Monir, for writing boom. Kuba, thank you so much, brother. Sophia, thanks for that. Penguin, was there anyone who was in this trade? Who was in this trade? Is there anyone? And am I talking about the hindsight, by the way? Because Hamad is here. Hamad, how are you, brother? I miss your disturbance, brother. I really miss it. You know, Hamad, I love you, brother. Sophia, I am and holding runner. That's cool. If you take the partial, put a stop loss to the break even, hold the runner for this buy side liquidity or here, I really appreciate it. But if you don't take the partial, that is my area where I'm gonna get angry on you. Why you didn't take the partial? Thank you, brother, for that boom. Not gonna say anything, lol. Ahmad, I love you, brother. I miss that, man. I really miss that. Ahmad, what is your account color, brother, for today? Why buy sell side liquidity is still pending. There is no sell side liquidity, brother. I've already explained that there is no sell side liquidity. Show me the sell side liquidity. Can you show me the sell side liquidity, brother? Relatively equal lows. Swing low is not my sell side liquidity. Swing low is not my sell side liquidity. It's not my sell side liquidity. I need relatively equal highs, relatively equal lows, or obvious liquidity. That means if this low would clear that low by a shallow run, like this high has cleared that high by the shallow run. There is no body above this high, just a wick. It's my buy side liquidity. That high is my buy side liquidity. Can you show me that over here? I can't see any buy sell side liquidity over here. Now, if you go to 1 minute chart, yes, sir, this is sell side liquidity. This is sell side liquidity from 1 minute chart. But 1 minute liquidity doesn't have the power to grab the market. That's why I was confident to frame a buy here when this bearish PDRA has been broken, because it doesn't have the power to grab the market toward that. What else? I'm extremely sorry. Okay, for anything else, like constant crossment rejection, top rejection, 15-minute bullish fair value gap is holding the market here. 15-minute bullish fair value gap, or if you would love to add this small fair value gap from 15-minute chart, which is the last fair value gap, that is gonna hold the market. Top of the new week opening gap hold the market. Prior to 9:30, the gap is holding the market and toward that buy side liquidity. But remember, this high is the real buy side liquidity. I just adjust the buy side liquidity with some 1 minute liquidity. The rejection block, I really would love to see a body close above the rejection block. Watching what? 15-minute candle, how it is reacting. See this 15-minute candle, I'm just watching it, how it is reacting. Previously I have seen it come here, then closed as a bear candle, opened below the new week opening gap. Still now it didn't close above the low of the new week opening gap, or above the constant crossment of the new week opening gap, or to the top of this new week opening gap. It didn't close anywhere. It's still below the new week opening gap. Still this new week opening gap is holding the market. Still this is a bearish market before below the buy side liquidity. Bearish means it's not gonna fall, it is gonna give some kind of reaction from there. I'm not trading this week. Ahmad, I miss your pinch, brother. I miss that pinch, man. Give me some pinch. Let's go, man. Let's go. I really miss it, man. Sometimes, no, we all are friends, right? I don't know you, you don't know me. So of course, you're not going to mind on my speech. I'm not gonna mind on your speech. Maybe heat of the moment we'll say something, but after that we are friends, right, brother? So there's nothing we are gonna hold. I hope you'll understand, brother. I lost all the good entries. Another buy above new week opening gap? Of course not. You lost all the good entries today. There was no good entry, brother, today. Unfortunately, there was no good entry today. So if you're seeing this is a good trades, I'm framing them. It's working. If you're seeing this is a good trade, I promise you, brother, this is bad price action, the baddest price action ever. So don't feel bad if you miss any of these entries. This is not a good price action. I promise you, brother. I should not say like this way, but I'm saying that. Okay, for the sake of this conversion, I'm saying this to you only, not Hamad, because Hamad, if he listen to me, he will start to react. If I were not here, this market would kill you. If I wouldn't break the market step by step, it will kill you. You will be lost on this price action. Trust me, man. I'm just telling this to you, Vlad. None of you, man. You guys are 1,000 times better than me. I appreciate it. So you are very, but I have a, you are very, okay, I'm very, okay. But I have a question. Concepts mean, SMC concepts mean, if I thinking about selling, suppose 5 minute chart, can I need market clear the buy side liquidity high or low, then sell? Absolutely, brother. Absolutely 100% you have to wait for that. If you are framing any kind of sell, market has to clear some sort of buy side liquidity. If you are framing any kind of buy, market has to clear some sort of sell side liquidity. Now you can ask me, brother, then why did you frame it here? Because it has cleared these lows, swing lows that has been cleared by that leg. If it would fail to clear any of the low, I would never go for the buy. No buy was valid to me. See this rejection block, how it is holding the market. Get this line. Ahmad, it's not hindsight. It's all fine. Thank you, man. Please stop writing in all capitals. Thank you, sister. Yeah, it's difficult to read to understand. See of Monday's first presented fair value gap is still holding price down. Let's see if it can close above it. Monday first presented fair value gap is the most important fair value gap for the rest of the week. I stopped working with the first presented gap, so I'm not adding them to my chart because I have a limited monitor setup, you know. I'm not able to focus everywhere. But of course, don't forget about that. Monday first presented fair value gap is one of the strongest fair value gap for the rest of the week, even the next week, according to ICT himself. Thank you, Suzivan, for sharing that knowledge. Again, I'm just not sure that it's going to take that buy side liquidity or not because this new week open gap is holding. According to Suzivan, there is first presented fair value gap constant crossment that is holding the market. So I'm just not sure about that buy side liquidity. That's why I am going to clear the partial, going to put my stop loss, and when some sort of liquidity will be taken, and body is going to closed above the swing high before clearing the swing low, I'm gonna move my stop loss below the most recent swing low. What do I mean by that? I think it's clear, but if you are not get that, there is a swing low, right? Look over here. This is a swing low. It's a liquidity. Then market has cleared that low. That swing low has been cleared. Before clearing the swing low, whatever swing high market left, I'm interested to see the body close above this swing high that left before clearing the swing low. If it closes above this swing high, I'm gonna move my stop loss below that lowest swing low. If there is an order block that I'm watching, for example, I'm watching this one as an order block just for the sake of this conversation. If I'm seeing this as an order block, then I have to wait the body close above the swing high that has been built before the order block. Body close need to close above the high swing high that has been built before the order block if it is important to me, if the order block is important. So here the important order block is not important to me, it's not an order block over here. So I'm not interested about the swing high that has been built over here before the down close candle. Okay, please don't get confused. Not a lot of things, it's just a simple thing. Like if order block, then I have to wait for the body close below the before the order block. If there is no order block, I'm waiting for liquidity to be taken, the most recent swing high. Simple. Look at this 15-minute candle, what you are seeing. It opened here, came until there, still respecting the low of this new week opening gap. It's struggling to break this new week opening gap. I'm not interested to frame a sell over here 100% because there is no logic to think about a sell around this area. I'm not looking for any kind of sell. I will see if it can clear some sort of sell side liquidity and can close some above this concurrent crossment to frame another buy. So for example, you missed this buy. Of course, you should not miss this buy. But if you miss this buy, if you miss this buy, this is gonna be your last opportunity right now to think about a buy toward the buy side liquidity if it can close above the concurrent crossment at least. Guys, I am trying my level best to make this very simple. Still, if you feel it's complicated, still you if you feel, brother, I'm not getting the point, let me know, okay? Because then I will change my style to speak about the price. I will try to make it much more simpler. For me, whatever I'm saying, this is the simplest thing. I think I can't make it much more simpler. I think I can't do it. If you ask me to make it more complicated, I can do that. And when I will talk about that complicated things, you will just say, brother, what you are saying, I'm not getting anything. But if you want, I can start right now for a trial if you want. I have a lot of things I'm watching over here. If you want, then I can add them. If you want, really. Because to be honest, I'm not interested to frame any other trade for today. I have just framed one, two, three, four trade for today. I didn't get the entry here. It's a losing trade, winning trade, partial. So far, okay. So it's so far a partial. So I'm just not interested for framing any other trade. I have just 15 minutes left. Uh, if you want, I can make it a bit complicated way. I can explain a lot other things over here to show you the PDRS. If you are interested, please let me know, okay? But it's gonna be hindsight, so Hamad will start to pinch me. If Hamad is okay, I'll go for that. Using 2 minute time frame, 10:08 entry is perfect. The 55th candle tapped to the top of fair value gap. If you are interested about 2 minute chart, you have to go to 30 minute time frame. That means on your right hand side here, it has to be 30 minute time frame. So you have to watch what is happening in 30 minute time frame. And all of this price action you have to decide depending on that 30 minute time frame. If your entry time frame is 2 minute chart over here, okay, this is your time frame, entry time frame. On your right hand side it should be 30 minute chart. You just can't go for 15 minute chart or 5 minute chart, execute your trade on 2 minute chart. No, it's not acceptable, brother. You'll understand. But if you don't understand this, just watch some more video from other people about the time frame alignment. Maybe you'll get a clear idea, brother. It's absolutely different. For me, 50 minute chart is the bellwether, and 1 minute chart is good for executing the trade. For me, they might bring the price back down from here. Of course, it can do that, but I'm not interested to see some kind of fall. I'm more interested to see to go for this buy side liquidity. Just before going, if it can fall for this gap, that is the best case of scenario before going higher. As it has first time it has closed above the low of this new week opening gap, it should keep going higher. I keep Monday's first presented fair value gap chart on the rest of the week. You should do that. It's very important, sir. Sir, you please don't call me sir, okay? Rana Huzaifa. Please don't call me sir. My name is T2. You can call me T2, brother, anything, but please don't call me sir. I'm learning with you, brother. We are brother. We are companion, okay? We are kind of mates. You can call me mate, no problem. But don't call me sir. I'm not teacher. I'm not teaching anything. I'm not doing anything that can make me sir or teacher. I'm not doing anything like that. So just call me T2 or brother, whatever. If you are junior to me, then call me brother. If you're senior to me, just call me T2, whatever you want to do. Allah give you more happiness. I mean, premium and discount logic standards to make sense to me, but when it fails, I feel like not trusting it. I'm not sure I'm making a mistake or it just failed. Have more studying to do. First of all, Suzivan, no, nothing is 100% in this market. If you look for the premium and discount logic and you are seeing that sometimes it's not working, that absolutely normal. You don't need to worry about that. You don't need to start to doubt yourself. Nothing is 100%. This is the first thing. The second thing is, if you are studying it right now, okay, like maybe you are studying it 1 week, 2 week, it's not enough, brother. You have to study that at least for 3 months. You have to write it down, how many times it failed, how many times it worked, and then you will get an idea, can you use that logic or not. For example, for last 3 months you have used the premium and discount logic, you keep marking them, and you saw that you keep writing how many times it failed, how many times it worked. Then you have seen, okay, out of 100 times it worked 80%, 90%, 95%. I always go for more than 80%. If it is less than 80%, I don't use that shit. That's absolutely shit. So a lot of things I didn't use, which is introduced by ICT, because it didn't work for me. It didn't work more than 80%, so I don't use them. However, when you will count them and you saw that, okay, it worked more than 80% of the time, trust me, man, you will never ask anyone, not even me, and you will have no doubt about that PDRA, because you know already how many times it's gonna work. You will have a clear idea. Okay. You forgot about the order block long. I don't see any order block, brother. Here I am watching everything, but I don't see any order block around this area. If you are watching this candle as an order block here, it's not the order block. Two reasons. First of all, this is an indecisive candle. Secondly, it didn't trade this last fair value gap. If it trade that last fair value gap, I would never miss this order block entry. However, this is one of the best confirmed entry for me. We have another last fair value gap, another buy side liquidity. What is another last fair value gap, another buy side liquidity? You're watching this small one, please don't do that. Is it possible to trade this afternoon and focus on P&D and dealing ranges and using quarter levels? Of course, it's possible, sister. There is nothing wrong. Of course, you can go for that. What is last fair value gap? Anybody can give him the reply, because this last fair value gap is a very long explanation. I have no idea how can I talk about this last fair value gap right now. And to be honest, if anyone can able to give him the reply, please do that. The water block long trade also took you outlined it, show that one after the 22 long entry. Haha. I didn't talk about this one. I outlined it. I think you are talking about this one. I outlined it. I never, not even say a word about this trade, Ahmad. So if I frame a trade and I don't talk about that, it means I'm seeing something over there. It's not for you. So go back and listen. I didn't even talk about a single thing about this entry. I just simply put it over there. I was not watching this order block. This order block was not important to me at all over here. You can recheck, brother. Yeah, when Jamil asked me about this order block, and then I have explained how you are going to use this gap, not that gap, to mark the order block. But here I was not watching this order block at all over here. If I was seeing this order block, I would explain them. You can go back and recheck, brother. Thanks for that, brother. What you just said gives me the motivation to study premium and discount. Without premium and discount, you won't be able to understand this market. Suzivan, I don't mark them, but it always been calculated in my mind. Always, it's been calculated. Always, without marking them. So without premium and discount logic, these concepts doesn't mean anything to me. You did, bro. You told us water block entry is good. No, I didn't. I clearly remember, brother. I even didn't talk a single thing about this water block because I was not watching this water block. I only started to talk about this candle when Jamil asked me, this is the water block, not that is the water block. Then I explained why this is not the water block, why it should be the water block, that I'm going to predict, gonna hold the trade, and it should not close below this candle or something like that. When I framed the trade here, or I put this tool around here, I didn't talk about a single thing about that entry. You go back, recheck, brother. I always remember when I see something on this market, what I was watching over here. Let me explain that to you. As you actually brought that things over here, let me explain that. I really don't want to, I mean, frame any other trade over here right now. Let this go. Go back and recheck, brother. Please do that. I'm gonna remove this gap. Please don't mind about this gap. It's not important because I'm just talking to you, Hamad, about this candle, why I framed that trade, what I was watching over there. This is that 15-minute bullish gap from the 15-minute chart. Just remember, this is the 15-minute bullish gap, brother, over here. When this market closed below the constant crossment of that bullish gap here, below the 50% or the consonant crossment below this bullish fair value gap. This is the last fair value gap. I was watching these candles that has closed below this bullish gap. Can I used the top of this candle? That means this candle over here, that is the candle, these two candle which is above the consonant crossment, which has invalidated the consonant crossment rejection of that 15-minute bullish gap. Can I used them for marking my breaker block? Now, first of all, it's not the breaker block because it didn't clear that low. I was just trying to find out that, like, mitigation block. I don't want to use it because use that term because I don't actually watch the mitigation block. It's very difficult for me to understand the mitigation block. But if it was the kind of like the breaker block, that means it took that low using the 15-minute fake breakout below the consonant crossment. Can I use this area as my breaker block for the next time it is gonna trade that area? So here everything I was watching, this up close body close candle over here around this area, that breaker block aligned with this order block has invalidated this bullish fair value gap. I'm just changing the color so you'll understand what I mean to say here. That breaker block, can I use this breaker block? Again, this was not the breaker block. I was just thinking about that. If it was the breaker block, can I use this one to take kind of buying opportunity without closing above this gap, bearish gap? So when this candle has been closed, I don't want to wait for this candle. Instead of that, when other body will close above this line, can I take the entry from there? Was it possible or not? So I was just watching that things and putting my stop loss below the area of this zone, of that zone, the 50% of that zone, or the mean threshold of that breaker block, comparing with this 15-minute bullish fair value gap. When the lower portion of the consonant crossment from 15-minute chart is broken, is there any possibility this market will go below the 50% area of this 15-minute bullish gap plus the breaker block mean threshold? Can I use them? Because I need more PDRS to build my buy or sell much more stronger. That is why I told you guys, if you remember, I was not marking them. It was not important to me. I just showed you this thing here and I told if it close above this gap, come back to this gap, that's the best buying opportunity. Go back, recheck. If you have any confusion, go back, recheck. I repeat, go back, recheck. If it close above this gap, come back again to this gap, that's the best buying opportunity. I'm not taking it because I just framed a losing trade. I don't want to frame it. If I were alone, I would go for this buy. That is my buy. I'm not taking it. If I were alone, I would go for this buy, at least until this area. And when I saw these things over here, immediately, of course, these down close candles also respecting this area. So I was just framing the sell, sorry, buy again from this area without even talking a single word. I just simply put it, I think here somewhere I put it here. Okay, if I'm not mistaken, I was putting it here. So you can see the order block is here. If I take my entry from the order block, I'm going to remove this. If I take my entry from the order block, I don't care about the lows, this low, I don't care about that. I put my stop loss below that candle, below the order block. You can go anywhere and you can check that. If I frame the trade, I put my stop loss below the order block, but this time my stop loss was here somewhere because on my open eyes, okay, I was watching the 50% of this candle over here. I'm going to remove them. Go back, recheck again because you can't blame me anywhere. If I'm not doing that, I'm not talking about that. Sorry, not that one. Go back, recheck, okay? If you don't get that point here. In my open eyes, I was watching the 50%. I was not sure 100% perfectly. So I covered that 50% of that candle, bullish breaker block candle. Again, not the bullish breaker block, as well as this 15-minute 50% with my open eyes. Okay, so not perfectly, but just thinking that I have covered the 50%. of that 15-minute bullish gap, and I saw it actually took me and then it started to go higher. Go back, recheck. My stop loss was here somewhere, like maybe one tick or two tick up down. It can be one or two tick up down, but I didn't cover the low of that order block. I covered here somewhere, okay, here somewhere. I just don't remember exactly where, but I didn't cover the order block. If I frame the trade, I put my stop loss below the order block, not below the swing low, something like that. I was not watching the swing low as well. However, and I didn't talk even a single word when I put it over there. When Jamil asked me, then I explained why it's not the order block, that is the order block. Go back and recheck, brother. Thank you for the penguin, brother. I love that penguin. If you want to confirm, you can go back to the stream. I confirmed that, brother. I confirmed that. Whoever were here, go back, recheck. Where was my stop loss? That stop loss is more than enough. Prove my point. I was not looking at that order block to take the entry or something like that. The entry is only valid from this gap because I clearly told that stop loss has to cover at least this low. Because over here, this is the entry gap, this is the last gap. This last gap is very small, so I'm gonna predict this is the entry gap, this is the last gap. But I can be wrong. Market can come at least until this gap, which is the entry gap. So of course, I have to cover that gap at least. More importantly, that gap. Boom, boom. Wow, didn't. Still, it's struggling to break that new week opening gap high. This is the speed time. It should give me the speed right now. Brother, but you are doing like great, so I can call you brother Titu. I don't know you. You're senior or junior to me. My age is 17, man. You are so much younger, man. Like I was in 17 near about 15 years ago. So 15 years ago, I was at 17. So I'm almost twice to you by the age. No problem, Hamad. I just explain, okay, brother. Don't mind. If I framed it, man, I have nothing to wrong. I mean, I'm not hiding anything. Trust me, man. I don't like to hide anything. If it is a losing trade, I'll tell you that, man, that's a losing trade. I really was watching this, all of this period is over here. That's why I didn't even use a single word while I was putting that, because I was just watching. Can I use these things, and later can I explain these things to you if it works actually? So far you can see it has perfectly respected the 50% of this 15-minute bullish gap over here. When it has been broken below the 50%, then come back again to the 50%, then it started to go higher. So I got that things over here. Later when this type of scenario will appear on the chart again, I'll observe it again, I'll observe it again, I'll keep observing, and then when I'll get confidence, oh okay, now I can share it to you, I will share to you that, brother, this is the 15-minute bullish fair value gap. You have seen this has closed below the concurrent crossment of this 15-minute bullish fair value gap. Now it go above the concurrent crossment. I promise you, it will never go back again below the concurrent crossment. It is gonna go higher from that concurrent crossment of that 15-minute bullish fair value gap, and you will see exactly the same way I got this last fair value gap entry opportunities with saying that, man, it's not gonna close below the concurrent crossment before taking this buy sell all of these things. So I'm actually go to go to something. Good explanation. Enough scratching your back for today. Okay, you're really awesome, Hamad. I hate you, man. No more trades until December 26th. The market early closed tomorrow and closed on 25th. Okay, okay. That's good. I will be here, to be honest. I will be here to watch the market, and we'll see if it's good or something is good. Then we'll go for that. Just paper trading or something like that. And then, yeah. Okay, guys, 71 people are watching, 97 likes. If you guys push three more like button, it will be 100 likes. Again, I only ask for the likes. Okay, I only ask for the likes. So, if you guys don't mind, please push the like button. The request to all of you. absolutely here. Look at my stop loss. Just watching the 50% of this area. This is the order block low, and I'm trying to put my stop loss over here, covering maybe here. I was watching this area from that order block, maybe don't exactly remember, but I was just interested to see how the 50% of this area is going to react. And more importantly, on my right hand side, that line over here, that 50% of that area, can it come to this area or not? If it come here and go below this area, maybe this is not going to work. Otherwise, it's a beautiful area to think about the line. Let's look at this stop loss, just the 50% and this area. So you see this 50% and the gap, this bullish parallel gap 50%, and this gap over here, I think that is the gap, or this is the gap. I don't remember which one is the gap, but whatever it is, can it support that area and keep going higher? But when Jamil asked me about this water block, then I started to talk about this. Okay, Jamil actually asked me the water block when I marked it as a water block. Then Jamil asked me why I'm not marking it instead of I'm marking that as an water block. Then I started to talk about this water block. However, guys, thank you so much for being over here and 99 likes. I don't think so I'm gonna get 100 likes, but thank you so much for being over here. This new week opening gap is still is broken actually. It's broken over here. I think it will start to go higher now. But after 11:30, don't try to go for any other trade. Not a bad day today. Of course, a good day. So far, just one losing trade, however. But otherwise, it's not a bad day. Yeah. You're most welcome, Sophia. Thanks for the penguin, brother. Have a good rest of the day, brother. I will try to be here tomorrow, God willing. Thank you so much. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I hope it was a very good learning day to all of you. If it is, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and push the like button, okay? So, see you tomorrow. No, brother, I'm not coming around the afternoon. I will go to the market actually. I'm planning to buy a camera, so I'll order that today. I'll go right now. So thank you so much for being over here. See you tomorrow. Just to read the market for the fun, okay? Until then, cheers, guys.